Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Collar X Malice. We're still in Chapter 0 here. We just had an encounter with some disgruntled citizens, and Mochida-senpai here diffused the situation pretty easily and admirably. So let us continue on. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Mochida-senpai probably worries about that as well, and that's why in these situations he lets people off with just a warning. I got their guns' registration numbers just in case. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. This video is going to be a little bit short because there were a lot of notes in this chapter, and I displayed them while I was recording, but it turned out most of them were pretty useless notes that really didn't need explaining, like copycat killers or police academy. We really don't need descriptions for those. So we decided to leave them out because, yeah, it was kind of a waste of time.
Hey, thanks. You know, I don't think they were bad guys, really. And one of them still had the safety left on his gun.
Well, maybe he forgot. He might have been a bad guy, but he forgot to take the safety off.
By the way, you've gotten really reliable, too. Even though you had a gun pointed straight at you, you were still able to stay calm and do what you had to do.
Yeah, it'd probably be weird to say I got used to it, but it's true that I've learned how to deal with situations like this calmly. Back when the sword and firearms control law had first been removed, just having a gun pointed at me was enough to make me freeze. Despite the police academy training, there have been multiple situations where I had a weapon pointed at me by someone with clear malicious intent and was unable to think straight because of it. But whenever that happened, Mochida-senpai was always there to protect me. It's always thanks to you, since I could watch how you dealt with situations like that just now. I was able to stop reacting so negatively to guns too.
Something like this comes with experience. And, at least at times like these, I get to actually act like your senior.
Seeing him all puffed up with pride like that, I burst out laughing. Though he usually acts like a friendly uncle, Mochida-senpai really is a reliable partner. When we returned to the station, the first thing we heard was angry screams and an admonishing voice.
Did they haul somebody in again?
There are more crimes happening in Shinjuku now than ever before.
And most of them done by people with no prior convictions. This just goes to show that people don't want to accept the current situation. Though some are just taking advantage of the chaos, there are also those who want to become the next hero.
The next hero, huh? Last month there was an incident in which a man claiming to be one of the X-Day-related criminals began firing at random in a crowd. When that happened, a civilian used his own gun to stop the criminal, and in the end there were no victims, but with talk of letters of appreciation and rewards, there are many people who've been trying to follow in his footsteps. The criminal ended up dying from the gunshot wound, and the police couldn't find any relation between him and the X-Day incidents, so they concluded that it was a copycat crime. But it's also true that because of this incident, a lot more people started to agree with the change in gun laws.
The fact that a criminal was stopped by a civilian has been praised, and people even started saying that this might become a good deterrent for light crime, but normally, capturing criminals is the police's, our job. And yet...
Mochida-senpai, you don't know who might be listening here, so... Looking around, Mochida-senpai lowered his voice, looking embarrassed.
Sorry, they told us to just accept it, but I can't.
I understand. I feel the same way. As a police officer, I also want to do something that would help with solving the X-Day incidents, but all I can do is listen to the citizens who come to special prevention for help or advice. That's all I can do.
Oh, right. I still have something to take care of at the planning division, so you go on ahead.
Got it. Soon after I parted ways with Mochida-senpai, I ran into someone familiar. Good evening, Saiki. Profile, Yuzuru Saiki. 23. Community Affairs, Koban Duty. Translator note, Koban is a small neighborhood police station in Japan.
Oh, hey Hoshino. Going home already?
No, not yet. I still have to hand in my report. Saiki was my classmate back when I was in the academy. At first, we would just chat and drink together sometimes, and eventually we became good friends. Since they assigned us to the same division, we often meet up to grumble about work over a few drinks. Are you going back already, Saiki?
Nope. Just like you, I still gotta write my report. Oh, right. You didn't forget we were going to go drinking tomorrow, did ya?
No, There's a lot I want to talk about, too.
What? Are you worrying about something again? That's been happening a lot since you started working at Special Defense, huh? And to think that at the academy you were always going, I'll catch all the criminals. You just wait and see.
I didn't think it would turn out like this at that time.
I quite like that deal of yours, though. But now that they made you work at a glorified help desk, you seem to have lost it.
I haven't. My feelings haven't changed at all since then.
Oh, you suddenly got all energetic again. Yep, and that's how you should be.
I couldn't help but smile back at Saiki, who was now grinning from ear to ear. Oh, I like him. I wish he was one of the options to date, but he's not. He did make me feel a little better. Saiki is the only person at work I can really be honest with in the current situation. That I can keep up my work despite the dilemmas we're facing is in huge part thanks to him.
Huh? I was wondering who you were chatting with, and turns out it was Saiki. Good evening, Mr. Mochida. You were going home now? No, I still have a bit of work to do. Well then, excuse me for now.
After bowing politely to Mochida, Saiki gave me one last look.
Hang in there.
Yeah, thanks.
You two are friendly as always. Going drinking again tomorrow?
Huh? Did I mention that?
It was Saiki. It was like a week ago. He came to me asking not to keep you overtime that day.
Well, that's bold. Sorry, he can be a bit too honest sometimes.
Well, at times like these, it's important to relax sometimes. So, you go and have fun.
Okay. As I was making preparations to head home after giving Mochida-senpai my report, I suddenly got an idea. Let's go there before going home. I often visit the station's shooting range whenever I have time. It's both for the purpose of training, so I'm ready when the situation calls for it, and for calming my thoughts when I'm worrying about something. After finishing the preparations, I gripped my gun and took a deep breath. At first, just holding it made my hands shake. Even though it was just practice, and the target wasn't an actual person, it was as though my whole body was rejecting the idea of holding a weapon capable of killing a person. I was scared. I finally managed to break through these worries one day during training.
Oh, you're still here. From the way you look, it seems like you're still having doubts, huh?
Saiki, maybe I'm not cut out for this after all. Right now, it's just a target. But if this were a person, just thinking about it makes it difficult to aim.
Hoshino, what do you think guns are for?
They're for catching criminals, aren't they? They're for all kinds of things, actually.
Isn't that a bit of an inflexible way to look at this? I think that when you shoot, you do it to protect someone. Guns are not something just anyone can use. They're a tool for protection, given only to us, the police.
To protect?
Surprising a criminal who's taken a hostage, stopping someone trying to escape. Those are things that can be possible with precise marksmanship. But if you lack that, or the resolve to shoot when you have to, you might end up letting a hostage die before your eyes, or letting a violent criminal get away. Why not try thinking about it this way? You aren't shooting to kill, but to protect.
That's right. After all, the police are allowed to use guns in the first place because they're the ones to ensure the safety of regular people.
Right. But, Hoshino, because we can use guns, we also have to think about the worst-case scenario.
Worst-case scenario? You mean having to kill a criminal in order to save an innocent person, right?
Yeah. If you want to protect something, you have to be prepared to pay the price for it, even if it means taking a criminal's life. Are you prepared to kill if the situation comes to that?
After hearing those words, the way I thought about guns changed. They aren't a tool to kill people, but to protect them. If you weren't prepared to use it, you shouldn't have a gun. A police officer must have the resolve to shoot if the situation calls for it. After that, I focused on training day in, day out. As Saiki said, just having that resolve meant nothing. If you don't have the skill to back it, when it comes to it, a gun could quickly turn into a killing tool. To make sure that wouldn't happen, I practiced on the shooting range targets every single day. Now my marksmanship is the single special ability I can be proud of. Of course, I don't think I do as well in practice as at the shooting range. Since I don't know when that'll happen, I don't want to miss any opportunity to practice so that I don't regret it when it comes to the real thing. As long as the current state of Shinjuku doesn't change, and the X-Day incidents don't stop, I have a feeling that time will come before long. I fixed my grip on the gun and raised my head. Not bad. Alright, pretty good. One more. Yeah, I got all 3. I didn't have to restart. Before I realized, an hour had passed. When at last I managed to put a bullet right through the center of the target, I sighed deeply.
Impeccable skill as always.
Suddenly hearing a voice from behind, I quickly turn around. Saiki, you still haven't gone home?
It was taking a while to finish my report, and when I decided to take a breather, I saw you heading here.
So, you've been watching me the whole time. You should have said something.
Seeing you concentrate like that, I just couldn't interrupt. Besides, I like it.
Huh?
I like to watch you when you practice shooting. You could say it calms me down, in more ways than one.
I don't know what that means, but somehow it sounds kind of shady. What are you talking about? I wonder if I should feel happy hearing that.
Of course. It was meant to be a compliment. I have a lot of respect for you, your hard work, determination, and honesty.
Oh, it sounds like he likes me. Why can't we date him? Alright, well, yeah, like I said, this one's short, but hopefully there will be less notes in the next videos, so that should be more normal length. So hope to see you there or in some of my other videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.